to the One More Thing Tech podcast. I know
Yes.
you guys probably like, guys, is Quasi okay? Is he whispering? Guys, it's the first one of the year. I don't want to scare you off before you guys get into this action-packed episode. As always, I'm your host, Quasi.
And I'm Adam.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending the first week of 2026 with us. Or maybe you're watching this at a later date. We don't blame you. It's kind of hard to keep up with, a podcast that's consistent like this. So, we don't blame you for falling a little bit behind. There's no penalty, right? But we do appreciate seeing you here today. So, as I always say, we have an action-packed episode today. A lot of leaks, a lot of new products that we want to talk about, some news. So let's just hop right into it. Adam?
Also, I just want to mention, as Quasi has said several times, and I will also try to begin to say, make sure you like and subscribe. It's 2026, and we really want to make this year just packed full of awesome for you guys. But we ask just one thing from you guys, and that's just to like and subscribe. We're not asking for a Patreon donation, nothing like that. And in fact, we've never asked for money from anybody in this podcast, and we don't plan to, because we want to make this just about you having a great time with us and a great time to talk about tech. And we're excited for this year. Like I said, we have some things planned. I know we still going to mention some things that's coming very, very soon. It's not quite yet, but let's just kind of dive into some of the topics. So, Quasi, you're kind of young for this. I was
Wow.
kind of young for this too. But there was an era. Do you know what the BlackBerry is, Quasi? And not the jam or the berry, but the actual tech thing called the BlackBerry. You know what that is?
Yeah, it was a phone with a keyboard on it. That
Yeah. I call
my
it the
aunt had a
rice button
BlackBerry.
phone. Yeah.
Mm.
The rice button phone, I think. I used one. I never owned one. I had one to mess around with. And it was, I don't know how anybody typed with that. Like, you needed to have, like, chopsticks or
Yeah,
something
no, they were
to,
pretty
to
small
type with
buttons.
that. I don't know. Like, it's impressive, to say the least, for those who could type on that. So, more power to them. But the reason why that was a very, very popular device was not because just the keyboard. It had so many different things built into that, which is like one of the very first smartphone concepts. I'm not saying there wasn't an iPhone or anything else, but that was a massively popular device. And it kind of died, Quasi, didn't it? I mean, it just didn't last. They didn't innovate fast enough.
Yeah, it was
You
really
know,
unfortunate for them.
there was no 5G when that was out. Let me just say that, right?
There
There,
wasn't
there was
4G.
no, yeah,
It
there
might not
was
have been
no One More Thing
3G.
Tech podcast. There was
This
nothing
is
like
true.
that whatsoever.
It
So,
was it was like
it,
what, 4, 5,
four.
6?
Yep, four. And I think 2005 was when it really boomed like crazy. Um, but the company behind the BlackBerry is kind of bringing it back, Quasi. Have you heard of the Clix keyboard accessory that they had for phones at all? Or
I
no?
actually have not. This is my
So
first
they
time hearing about it.
they are bringing back, and Quasi is going to bring up an image for this so you can see this, but they're bringing back the BlackBerry style phone. Now, it's not the same thing as it used to be, right? It's a different concept. It's a different way that they're bringing a smartphone in 2026. It's not designed to be as flashy or as intuitive as a current smartphone is. What this is kind of going to be focused on is a less convoluted and attention grabber device that you see out there. And it's an interesting concept coming in 2026 because there's so many different people that are using a device for more than just texting and using it for their phone. They're using it for just about everything between shopping and, browsing the web and content and everything else. So they're going out and making something a little different this year. So it's going to be a device. It doesn't have the typical smartphone interface. That's the first thing. It's going to be a very dumbed down device in a good way, but it's going to be a lot less busy. And that's their whole entire idea. And maybe in 2026 we need less busy because I gotta say, and Quasi can attest to this, there are so many apps, people, and just things on my phone that really want my attention. And if I spent every single time when I get a notification to just dive into that, it would be I'd run out of time in the day. It's so
For
much,
real.
you know?
I
It's
agree.
crazy. So, and I have to really limit myself in what I'm going to be doing, you know. And like right now, I'm so sad because I know I said last episode there's going to be so many discussions that we're going to talk about, and there was like 51 comments. And I am just now today going to start to respond to some of those because I want to be engaging with our viewers. So I'm still going to do that, and Quasius too. We're going to both do it, okay? So on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and YouTube
Ooh,
Shorts, and
do you mind
YouTube.
if I just interject with a small story
Go right
really
ahead.
quick?
Go ahead.
The other day I was we uploaded a short. I think it was to YouTube, right? And it was the one where I was talking about if in 2026 Walmart does not they don't bring out tap to pay, then I'm boycotting Walmart. Now some huge fan of mine, right? This guy's like my number one fan. He came on, uh, hid behind his screen and texted that Walmart has no idea who I am. Okay. Sure, you might think that Walmart has no idea who I am, but do you know how much money I spend at Walmart every year? If they
I mean,
lost me, they'd be losing a nice chunk of change, right? Because they wouldn't just lose me, they'd lose me and my dad, right? Now, I spend a lot of money at Walmart, but if you see what my dad does when he goes into a Walmart line, I'm not talking $300-400 at him. I'm talking this man tries to buy out the entire store so he doesn't have to be there for the next 2 months, 3 months, you
oh,
know?
I see.
So to the guy who commented thinking that I wasn't going to comment back, sure, I didn't comment back, but here's your response. Walmart does know who I am. In fact, they track my location so that they ask me, I'm basically a Walmart ambassador. They ask me how their Walmarts are performing, sir. All right? So just watch yourself. All right? Watch it, bud. That's all I wanted to say. But sorry, Adam, I completely cut you off and I
No,
don't remember what we were talking about before that.
I am just to go a little bit off topic here. I just want to thank everybody. If you're coming to this from the shorts or from short form in general, or YouTube or whatever, thank you so much for the engagement. I think this last episode was our highest engagement we've ever had on an episode, and we're gonna do our best, both of us, to respond to every single comment. Now, hopefully, this doesn't get blown up, so it's too hard to do that. But thank you guys so much for that because that's what I really wanted to see, and I want to see moving forward. I wanted it to be a problem, Quasi, where I'm like, man, we got 13,000 comments on this one video, and our views for a short went up like crazy. So I just want to say thanks, everybody, for that, and thanks for being engaging. Like I said, do not be afraid to reach out to us. Don't forget about Discord too. We're gonna respond Discord as well. Let's get that conversation going, okay? But to go back to the Clix smartphone, I am kind of indifferent about this. Am I gonna switch to this? Probably not, right? Is this something that would be fun to mess with? Probably so. It's just a different device, a different approach to it. It's not like we're going to copy and paste, a current phone in the market and try to make it a little different. We're going to go way out in left field and make this just so different and maybe make it a little less busy for your life. And that's their goal here. So let us know in the comments. You see us in the shorts, YouTube, or whatever. What you guys think about this? Is this a device where you might consider because you just want to be less busy? You want to be less stressed out. We look at your phone and seeing 28 different notifications in the last hour when you have the rest of the day still to go, right? I mean, there's so much to do. Is it an approach that you're trying to be less busy in your life, less just overall wound up? Let us know in the comments below. And I wonder what you think about this, Quasi. Like, what are your overall thoughts? Is the design good? Do you like the button style? Do you like the IPS screen, the backgrounds, all that stuff? What is your take, Quasi?
Well, I think I should start by saying I don't really get overwhelmed when I look at my screen, right? So you probably know from experience that I'll have like 82 messages, and not care. I'm currently sitting on 350 unopened
So those are for
messages.
me.
It used to stress me out, but then I realized I could just not respond. You know what I mean?
If anybody
Ladies and
needs
gentlemen,
a 2 terabyte iPhone, it's this man. Just for his iMessage alone.
and I'm starting to see the value of a terabyte and 2 terabytes because I may or may not be at the max for my iCloud storage all of a sudden. I don't know how it happened.
How much storage do you
Thought
have?
I have the 200 gig plan. I thought I had a lot more space than I actually do. I don't know what happened to all my space, but I don't get stressed from looking at my phone, so it's definitely not a product that I need. Is it a cool concept? So we've been seeing the concept of dumb phones for quite some time now, all throughout. I think the first time I saw one was 2019, and I guess for certain people, like yeah, it's a good concept, but I also I'm not gonna pay $400 for a phone that does less than my current phone. You know what I mean? Like, sure, it's half the price, but like, I already own an iPhone. Why am I getting a phone with a screen that's not the greatest and a keyboard that, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna be able to type on? Like, I have some big hands, which is, I guess, why they think the iPhone Pro Max is the best for me, but it's really not. I mean, I need a Pro, but sorry, that's not. I shouldn't have turned it into that. But yeah, it's like it's reminiscent of the Kindle Fire e-readers,
Mm-hmm.
but just the e-reader, not like the Fire HD tablets. That's what it's
Yes.
kind of like. That's what it reminds me of. So, I mean, yeah, for some people it makes sense, but just for me,
Here's a question.
I don't think so.
Just hit me real time. What do you think about this device for the younger generation kids that are getting a smartphone, let's say, 10 plus years old? And this is their way of getting it, and it can be locked down a little bit with what apps can be used and notifications and so on and so on. Is this a good device for that generation?
Well, it depends. If I'm a parent, I'm looking at it like this. First and foremost, why am I getting my child a phone, right? If it's so that they can play video games, maybe I get them a tablet, right? If it's so that they can call me when they're at soccer practice, right? That's more understandable, right? Then from there, I move to, okay, is my son doing well in school, right? If my son's not doing well in school, I'm not going to give him another distraction. He's going to end up with the flip phone or this Clix communicator, right? But if he's doing pretty well in school, then it leads to the next question: do I love my son, right? And if the answer is yes, which hopefully it is for everybody, I'm going to get him an iPhone. Maybe not the latest iPhone, but I'm going to get him an iPhone. If the answer is no, he might get like the cheapest Android on the market, right? Sometimes, maybe you do love your son. Maybe you just need to give him the cheapest Android on the market for character development. That's completely fine too. I had to go through it. I had a cheap Android for character development, and I turned out great. So, I I don't think that this Clix communicator is necessary for younger or for people just getting a phone. I think it's a terrible introduction for them actually. But you know, to each their own. So hopefully that makes a tiny bit of sense. I don't know if I explained what I was trying to say the greatest, but yeah.
No, you did. It's just a good question. I mean, it's a different perspective on a smartphone for a kid where it's not going to be as busy because we get to a place, and this is a little bit off topic. You know, I with advancements in technology and what I can do on my phone now, there's a good majority of things I do more on my phone than a computer these days. Right? I'm not saying I hate computers. I'm saying they're not as convenient. I have to get out of my bag. I have to open up and turn on and all this other stuff, right? My phone is in my pocket, and then I just turn on and I can do stuff, right? I can text people, I can shop, I can research, I can do a lot of stuff. And it's crazy that, like, to me, it's when I go to Amazon.com on a computer, I'm like, wow. I kind of get set back a little bit. I'm like, I'm used to going on my phone, right, to do all that stuff. So that's just where we live. And I think that there'll be a time where computers are going to be less and less used unless it's for work or you're at home because it's just not as convenient. I mean, they're not bad devices, they're just not in your pocket yet. So that's just my whole point. Is I just want to see what your thoughts were, but let us know in the comments below because this is a different approach, right? They're not trying to copy and paste like some other people are doing, and I appreciate that. Now, is this going to take off? I don't know. It's a very niche market, I think, but also people are not afraid to try something a little different in the smartphone sector. This is just that. It's gonna be very hard with that small 256 gigs of storage, though. Ooh. Your question
Well, you gotta
is,
understand, you're not keeping too much on that phone anyway, right? So
well,
the
maybe.
objective is to get you off your phone. If Adam Thiel only has like he only has 256 gigabytes on that phone. Adam knows he can't do everything he wants to do on that phone.
That's
As a
true.
result, he's gonna go grab his iPhone, and the product's gonna be useless.
But here's the other question though too. We don't really know quite yet what's going to use for like their app store. Is it going to be Android based? My
It's
guess is
most
yes.
definitely gonna be Android based.
But is it use Google Play or is it going to use their own store, right? Like the Samsung
$20
kind of
says
stuff.
they use Google Store, the Google Play Store.
They probably will, and we'll see. But yeah, let us know what you guys think of this. Is this even something you might just get as a secondary device just to stay focused? Maybe that's the point of it. I don't know. I'm curious to see if any businesses will use this for agents in the field, for specific people, for communications. You know, well, if that's great for that, like you have Teams on this, or you have Google Meets, or whatever you guys use, and basic email communication, some other stuff, right? I mean, that's per for that concept. That could be also a great concept for this entire device. Just try to see what everybody kind of thinks, but it's coming back, the BlackBerry, and I'm glad it really is because I want to see it kind of thrive in this market and come back because it was a popular device. Everybody had them, and you know what?
Just a tiny bit of an understatement.
Never remember, Quasey, people putting a case on those devices, which to me in this day is scary. So we'll see how that
Well,
grows out too.
but also, it's not like they were glass phones; they were plastic.
No, I know, but like even the
He,
cosmetic scratches, if you dropped it, people didn't want that. I don't know.
I don't. I personally also don't remember anyone having a case for it. But then again, my parents didn't have a BlackBerry. It was only my aunt that had one, so I wasn't exposed to it as much.
Yeah, I get
And by
that.
the time I can remember, iPhone 4s were out. So,
Oh, I know. And it just
I
took
was already
over.
living the good life.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so
This,
I
this,
have a
this
quick
is gonna hurt
update.
a little bit.
Well, it's not going to hurt. That just means there's more available. So, a quick update. Recently, Adam, the Apple Vision Pro was announced in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Data from IDC said that Apple shipped 3,900,000 Vision Pro units in 2024. But now they're only expected to ship 45,000 new Vision Pros in the last quarter of 2025, right? You might say, Quasey, why are you reporting on this? How is this big news? Ladies and gentlemen, this shows that Apple Vision Pro just doesn't sell like hotcakes, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Now, granted, people need to buy groceries for their family, right? That's probably the reason that we're not seeing an exponential increase in the amount that's being purchased. But this is also not great because it seems that the Apple Vision Pro headset is struggling to gain consumer traction. And
I
those
think
low
I know
sales
why.
figures, I just, it couldn't, I just can't fathom. Could it be the $3,500 price tag? Or maybe the form factor? I think honestly, I don't think either of those are like the hugest issue. I feel like for enthusiasts, that wouldn't be the biggest issue. $3,500, you can. I mean, if you get a part-time job, you can save for that really quickly. I think the bigger issue is that at launch and still until now, there's not a lot of native apps for the Vision Pro, and so if I buy this $3,500 device, what can I really do with it? You know what I mean? Now, granted, I'd find a way to use it, right?
Oh, we all would, Quasey. I
like
would
I,
I would use this like crazy.
Let me tell
But
you
here's the
something.
here's
When
the
you're in the
thing though.
demo and you're going like this,
Oh, I know.
I'm
It's a
telling you, I find
functionally
ah,
awesome device. It's so
it's so
nice.
awesome.
I have a different take, Quasey. I think it's like a catch-22. People aren't making apps for this as much because of the low market share, right? It's a lot to make it. It to do a lot AR VR stuff. I get that, but the bigger issue is this: because of that price tag. That's the biggest issue I think overall. It's so expensive. I think if we took a vote for globally how many people want this compared to can they afford it, there's probably a higher amount of people that want it, but they don't get it because they can't afford it. That's the biggest thing I think there is.
I'd say
If
that's
it
probably
was,
true.
see, with what I know this thing can do and how wonderful it is, I mean, even 2,000 is expensive. Look at what is selling the most right now in this sector. That's the MetaQuest at $500, right? I think it's like $649 for the most expensive one. So under $1,000. So keep this incredible device for that, but give people an entry point of a device under $1,000, so even like $800 or $900 or whatever. You need to give a movement push of a product that gets you into the sector because there's a lot of people, Quasi, they don't even know how this thing even works, how to even use it, or what to use it for, right? Because, like, do you think your dad right now would want this device? Does he even know about it? Has he tried
I
it?
don't.
You know?
No, I know for a fact he hasn't tried it. I don't think I don't think he knows he wants it. But I guarantee you, if I took him to try it, because the other day I walked in, right, and he had Adam, no joke, he had the portable monitor that you recommended, right?
Nice.
So I was like, oh, clearly he needs more space, right? The only issue is he doesn't have a Mac, right? My dad just, he's a man of habit, big Windows guy, right? Can't
I
blame
get it.
him. I he's been with Windows since time, just like since he started using computers. So I was fortunate enough that he bought a Mac when I was younger, and I got to grow up on that. I don't know if it was his Mac or my mom's, but I definitely remember seeing him use it more. That's not the point, Adam. The point here is that I don't think he knows he wants a Vision Pro, but once you show him the
Exactly
features,
it.
he'll know he wants a Vision Pro.
That's exactly it, I think. Now, but that still brings it needs to be there needs to be at least another variant if they're not going to lower the price because the second generation has not touched the price point at all. Same exact price. So if they make an introductory device that can bring people into this market that they didn't know they wanted, like you just said, and they don't know they need, that might boost it. And that's probably a great solution for this. It has to be 1,000 or under, though. You cannot go over that for this base device. Now, make it still nice. Make the screen still OLED, also great stuff, but don't put make as much into it to lower the price. That's their biggest issue. I think price is basically it. I don't think that people just hate this device so much that they don't want it. I mean, I know you hear stories about people saying, I bought one, it's in my drawer, I don't touch it that much. And it's probably because lack of innovation, that there's no new, not innovation, it's a bad word, lack of just functionality that you can do with it, right? But to get more people interested in it, you need to bring a lower device priced model out to do that. I think that's my take on it. I could be completely wrong. If you guys have this in the comments below, let us know what you use it for and how often do you use it. I mean, Tim Cook mentioned that he could use this daily. I don't know if I could, but if I had one, I would try to make a point to because it's so expensive. I mean, just a theatrical experience is going to be phenomenal on the Vision Pro, from what
Definitely.
I've seen with it too, in Quasi. I just think that this is the reason for it is because of the price point. It is, I mean, I think it's the most expensive first generation model that they have of most things, right? I mean, you can get a Mac cheaper than this. You can get almost every product line that Apple has cheaper. And it's hard to just make that jump into this and ask yourself, why do I need this? What am I going to use it for? Is it worth my money? Those are the questions they have to answer as a company. And at that price point, it's too hard to make that jump, I think. Do I want one? 100,000%. Is it too expensive now? Yes. That's my take.
Fortunately.
You know? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, I know this, it's a massive drop. I hope this does not mean they're going to stop doing it. I hope this means they make some changes that need to happen in a good way, right? Alrighty. Excuse me. Speaking of things that kind of took me off guard, Quasi, did you know
Yes.
that Apple is not going to launch the base iPhone 18 this year?
Actually, last night I was watching a video on the iPhone Fold, and I got that spoiler, and I was like, "Well, I sure hope it's not true." But
Which is,
unfortunately, it's looking like it's more and more likely every day
what's the spoiler that you've seen?
that they're not shipping a base model iPhone 18 this year.
Yeah. And I think I know the exact reason why.
You think it is?
It's going to be to push the Fold, which seems like a weird concept, doesn't it?
No, I can see that happen.
I mean, you're talking about telling people of a cheaper model iPhone to go to a foldable device. It's kind of a hard sell, but at the same time, it's a new product category, right? They're going to the foldable phone sector. I'm excited to see what that's going to bring to the table. I've heard a lot of people in my discussions with people say that the iPhone Fold first generation, they're going to probably skip on and go to the second generation because they're going to work on all the bugs. Get that. I know it's going to be very expensive, probably over $2,000 at this point, because that's what basically you see in this market right now. But back to the iPhone 18 base model not launching. Now, here's the question. I really want to know why that's the case. Is it because supply chain issues? Can they not get certain material that they need to get to make this happen? Is it just a time issue? Is it, that they just want to focus on something else this year? Is it because they have more sales in the iPhone Pros than they do the base models? I mean, I think it's a balance. I'm pretty sure they sold a bunch of the base models, especially last year, right? So this is an interesting jump that Apple's doing. What you say? I mean, it is not like them to skip this. Now, what I will say is this. People mentioned to me that I was trying to do clickbait when I said this. I did not say they're not making this as a whole. They're not launching it in 2026 until next year in the springtime. They do the SC models and stuff like that. So they're just going to delay it a little bit to focus on other models, is what it sounds like. What are your thoughts, Quasi?
You know, here's mine, right? Last week we talked about how maybe we need to go back to an every, or not back to, but we need to go to an every 2 year release cycle for the iPhone, right? And like, yeah, I could see that needing to be a thing, but also last week I think I said that it's not necessary, right? Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to put it, Apple's coming out with this iPhone Fold. Whether you like it or whether you don't, right? Get with the program. Does that mean that they have to get rid of the iPhone 18? Well, let's look at it. What was the most popular selling iPhone this year? The iPhone 17. Not the Pro, just the regular one, because it was the greatest deal ever. This was the best year to buy an iPhone regular model, right? What does that mean for the iPhone Air? Or not the iPhone Air, for the iPhone Fold? Well, if I'm Apple, I'm not gonna exactly feel great about putting a new product in and immediately cannibalizing its sales with this product that just does everything for so much cheaper, you know? So unfortunately, it makes sense that they have to cut the best selling iPhone from the list to push people to that premium, to push people to try a new thing. Like if I have someone who's made up their mind in September of this year when the iPhone drops, I'm getting one, and then they come out and they don't see the one they want. Well, they still want an upgrade, right? So
But let's just make sure we understand they're just delaying it to the next spring.
yeah,
So it's not
it's
like it's not coming out. That's just made that very, very clear. They're just, and it's weird
it's
that
not coming
Apple's
out
doing
at the
this.
normal release date.
Exactly. And I do not see any leaks, rumors, or anything that explains why.
Well, I just told
And
you why.
why? Well, no, like speculation is it not.
I mean, yeah, but it's also like we've seen this before. Like
Yeah.
they don't release an iPad Pro on the same day they release a an iPad Air. They don't release. Well, sometimes they release MacBook Air on the same day as MacBook Pro, but that's just because same chipset, and you're gonna buy the Pro anyway. You know what I mean? Like, if you want a MacBook Air versus a MacBook Pro, we're not gonna do anything to stop that.
Well, it's kind of sad that we get to a point where there's a pro model and a non-pro model, and there's that like my phone's better than yours. People that have that attitude, and I can't stand that. I don't buy a pro because I want to be better than somebody else.
That's why
I
I
buy a
bought it.
pro because I I buy it because of what I use it for. Right? I'm a pro user. I do a lot of my phone. I'm a tech guy. I do stuff with my business, the podcast, work, and everything else. And for me, that's what I use and need, right? Not everybody needs that, so there's a reason for that. But let's not try to get to that stance again where my phone's better than yours because of this. That's stupid. Let's not do that. I don't know. I thought this is a very interesting little topic, so I want to bring that up. Let us know in the comments below why you think Apple's doing this and why you think that there's a push for a delay. Just let
All
us know
right.
below, please.
Well, Adam, let's pivot away from Apple for a second. Let's go to some games news, some gaming news. Adam, there's a lot of games coming out here in the Big 2-6. First, I want to know what you're looking forward to the most, and then we'll read off a list of probably the most exciting games coming up this year.
Okay, so and we're gonna link this article in the description. It's a list of the most anticipated games of 2026, which is a big list. I'm gonna read off a couple that I'm looking forward to. The first one is 007 First Light, which comes out in March 2026. I keep seeing some gameplay footage of this. It looks like just a whole bunch of chaos, whole bunch of fighting, whole bunch of shooting, and I'm looking forward to this game. It looks pretty nice. I hope it's not too hard though. So that's the first one. I would say after that is Gears of War E-Day. I'm a huge Gears of War fan, so I'm looking forward to that as well. We had to also mention Grand Theft Auto 6. One little sneak peek about GTA 6 is it sounds like from insiders from Rockstar, there are no more delays that's going to occur between now and the release date. They are on track finally with a November 19th release date, and we'll see. I mean, that's
We will
probably the
see.
biggest game of 2026, I'm thinking, right? But those are my kind of top ones. Let me look one more time, make sure there's nothing else crazy that I just forgot about. Yeah, that's mine. Go ahead, Quasi.
All right, so for me, uh, my most anticipated games this year are going to be number one, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a PS5, Marvel's Wolverine is coming out this year, right? It's by the same people who made the Spider-Man games. And if you know one thing about me, if you haven't been listening to the last 8 episodes, you probably won't know this one thing about me. But I am loving the Spider-Man games, right? Just got a PS5 recently. I'm on Spider-Man 2 right now. Let me tell you guys something. At first, I started playing Spider-Man 2. I didn't like Spider-Man 2 that much, right? I didn't like what they did with Spider-Man. Now he has arms, or the little four arms out of his thing to compensate for Miles' extra powers. That's too much, right? And then I started moving on, and the combat is just so smooth, and everything's just so smooth. And let me tell you something. This is a little bit off topic. I promise you I'm going to get into Marvel Wolverine here in a second. But in
Okay.
Spider-Man 2,
Here, I'll be right back.
you can
Okay.
see, yeah, you can see the inside of the buildings, and it's really cool. I love it. It's Spider-Man 2 is awesome, right? But Marvel's Wolverine, same developers, and it's going to be the same type of open world game. I think it's going to be absolutely like one of the most, if not the most fun game this year, right? Second on my list is going to be Lego Batman 4, right? I grew up playing Lego Batman. I played Lego Batman 2. I played Lego Batman 3. And, when they announced Lego Batman 4, I was sitting there. I was in awe. I was just so happy. You guys don't understand. Like, it was. I started I'm like I didn't pre-order it, but I immediately, like, in PlayStation you can add it to wish list. Did that immediately, right? For the other game that I'm the most interested in this year, I should say, or anticipating the most, I want to go with NBA 2K27, right? 2K26 is out. I've been playing it. They actually did fix a lot of things from last year, right? This might be the easiest 2K to shoot in. A lot of other fixes, but I am having some trouble with some of the inputs, right? Like, I'll tell my character to take a step back from the baseline, right? I want to step back to my lethal zone, which is the corner, right? I'm telling him to take a step back, and he wants to drive to the basket real quick, right? Mind you, I didn't want to shoot. I didn't want to shoot. I just wanted him to take a step back, right? Not a step back jumper, just a step back. And, he'll go lay it up, or at least attempt to lay it up. It's not great. So 2K27, I'm hoping that they're going to fix that. Those are my most anticipated games. Adam missed all of them, so he's going to have to watch this episode to find out. But let's go down the list of some
Yeah,
of the most
someone else has been
anticipated
running.
games. I'm
Okay.
just going to read these off really quick. It's going to be Resident Evil, Requiem, Resident Evil, which comes out February 27th. Lego Batman 4, Legacy of the Dark Knight, which I just talked about. We don't know when, but it's coming. Forza Horizon, also coming. Control Resident, coming in 2026. Mouse PI for Hire. Ladies and gentlemen, this game actually looks really cool. It's coming out March 19th. 007 First Light, like Adam said, March 26th. Bubsy 4D, coming out in 2026. The Dusk Bloods, coming out later this year. Gears of War E-Day, also coming out later this year. Star Wars Galactic Racer, coming out later this year. Coming out in March. We don't know what day in March, but it's coming out in March. GTA 6 is supposed to come out November 19th, but I would not put money on it.
I
Marvel
actually think it
Wolverine,
will.
Adam, I'm not betting on it. That's all I'm trying
Here's
to
why I
say.
say that, Quincy. Do you think that Take Two and Rockstar can really take a single delay announcement at all anymore? I think if it
I don't
happens
know.
one more time, people are going to just have zero hype for it. I think it's never going to come out.
I feel like people won't care that much. Like,
I think they
it's the
will.
most
If you
anticipated game in
hear
history.
that GTA 6 coming November 19th of 2029, people will say, I'm done. Like, it comes back to the same thing that gets people more frustrated. It's not that the game's not ready. It's not that you're still working on it. It's that you said it's coming out now and it's coming out later than now or a certain date. Do not announce it. Do not say dates until you are confident that's what you're going to actually release it on. So instead, they could have had teasers saying coming soon. And then when you know you're confident on a certain release date, then you mention that, and that's how you do it. That's what they did wrong, right? They try to build hype. I get that, and you need to do that. But release dates being pushed back 3 or 4 times, that makes people super irritated. That's all I'm trying to say there. But anyway, yes,
Understandable.
there's a big list here. So let us know in the comments
Wait,
what you're
I
most
actually did not finish
anticipated.
the list, Adam.
We did. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, I'll read them off quickly though. I can understand if you want to move on. Like I was saying, Marvel's Wolverine coming out later this year. Saros coming out April 30th. Mina the Hollower. This is a Switch game coming out 2026. Replaced coming out March 12th. Forbidden Solitaire coming out sometime within the first 3 months. The Blood of the Dawnwalker. This game looks hilariously scary. Like I would not be
If
caught
that
dead
thing was
playing this
by
game.
my feet when I woke up, I would get some rock salt or call Dean Winchester from Supernatural to get rid of it. That thing is petrifyingly scary.
That is terrifying.
That it
Um,
like no moisturizer is going to help that face. None.
Absolutely not.
Or really
Uh,
anything else. Sorry.
Danganronpa 2x2 coming
I
out
don't know what that
later this
means.
year. I'm not too sure what it is either. Pokemon Champions. I'm a sucker for Pokemon games.
I am
Coming out later
too.
this year. Mario Tennis Fever, February 12th. That looks
Ooh.
like fun. Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis later this year. Pokemon Pokopia, March 5th. I'm not going to play that game though. Pragmata, April 24th. Marvel Token Fighting Souls, right? Let me tell you something. Um, I'm pretty sure that this one is a lot like Marvel Rivals or Marvel Rivals. We'll have to play it and see. I'll let you guys know when it comes out. Scott Pilgrim EX. I keep hearing a lot about Scott Pilgrim, so that might be a great game. Demon Tides, February 19th. Nocturne, June 30th. Slay the Spire, March 2026. Halo campaign evolved later this year. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. You cannot play that on PlayStation or Xbox if you were wondering. Probably not on PC either. Coming out in 2026, and that'll be it for the 31 most anticipated games this year.
And that's just the ones that they're listing. There's probably even more. Wow. Yeah. A whole
Yeah,
bunch
they
of
didn't
games
list
there.
2K26 there, but I can tell
Okay.
you guys, I have insider information that it's going to come out in August of this year, 2K27.
Okay. My question to you, Quasi, is what is your most anticipated game from this list? Pick the only one.
Marvel Wolverine.
Over everything?
Well, I mean,
Not,
it's
not
that
GTA
and
6?
yeah, it's really that and Batman.
I mean, GTA
uh,
6. I
I
like a lot of the
might
games here,
purchase
but
GTA 6. It might not happen. There's a higher chance of it not happening than of it happening for me. My mom was never a fan of those games, so I didn't grow up on them, and now it just doesn't interest me too much.
okay. Next topic is it was a great time from PC World that I wanted to bring up. And it's we see a shift with Microsoft with using Copilot and just AI to code Windows 11 and Copilot and other apps that they have, and we're seeing the side effects of that. Lots of issues and bugs and just weird quirks and everything else. And while that's happening, Valve is stealing the PC gaming away from Microsoft. Here's what I'm saying about that is I have a Steam Deck. Have you seen this? Several times I mentioned Steam Deck, but the Valve, I can't remember what they actually call it, but it's their Steam machine essentially that's coming out later this year. That's going to take over a lot of different things, and here's why. Because it is a more refined OS for gaming, and I'm not seeing it. I'm curious about this like crazy, and I just want to know from people in the comments: is this something that's on your list to get? Is this Steam Machine version 2? Because really the only limitation is going to be most likely the anti-cheat that's coming out for most of these AAA title games. But you see people are kind of getting they're pushed away from some of those. Like, there was a time when I bought Call of Duty every single year. And now I'm like, it's on Game Pass. I'll download it, but I haven't played the new one yet. It's so because they're just weird.
I also
Like
haven't played the
Battlefield,
new one.
though, that was pretty incredible, right? There are
Battlefield
some games still
6.
that are wonderful. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So like, what I'm saying is, people are not just focused on those as much as they used to be. They're also going to indie games and just games like Stardew Valley or whatever to just get a more broad range of gaming. So this is something that people are more hyped about than a Windows experience on playing games because they are just interested in what Valve's going to do. Valve is known to make it. They go the extra mile that we don't see people in the sector doing right now. The people are trying to. They're trying to do this AI stuff, and it's backfiring on them. But we'll see how this kind of plays out for Valve. But I just want to know, Quasi, what is your overall stance? Do you think this is going to be a bigger hit? And do you think this is going to be a big shift from people using Windows to going to more Linux gaming? What do you think?
Me personally, I don't have a Steam machine. I don't have a Steam Deck. I don't have a Windows computer to play games on. Right? I'm a console gamer. Up until a couple months ago, I was an Xbox exclusive gamer. So we're hearing that Microsoft here is trying to lose themselves a little piece of their pie. They're currently dominating the operating system for PC gaming, and I just think that unless it becomes more convenient to switch to Steam, not more optimized, more convenient to switch to Steam or a Linux based operating system, I don't think Microsoft has anything to worry about yet. Because
I think they
Microsoft
do.
is going to continue to be the most secure way to play your games for right now.
Here's why I say that. Even the vast array of handheld gaming that you see, or even PC gaming, and I might get in trouble for saying this, the overall experience that we see with Windows is just not optimized for gaming yet, right? It's for a different section of what you do on a computer. So, for instance, like you see on the ROG Ally and some of these other handhelds, the hardware's there, it's great, right? But like, if I wanted to get into it with a focus on playing games, now I gotta run updates. Now I gotta do, my .NET patches. I gotta make sure that this is there, and I gotta make sure that Steam is up to date. And I have to make sure that this is all working. And then, I gotta pop up to make sure my security is up to date. I ran a scan for this. Like, there's just so much that takes away from that experience. Where in the SteamOS interface, for instance, I turn on, it's waiting for me to make a choice of what I want to do, not pushing what it wants me to do. There's no ads in SteamOS. Windows 11, there's ads for a
Yeah,
paid
that's kind of
operating
crazy.
system. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
there's no. They did this overlay for the Xbox LIX, right, for a Xbox interface, and that's nice. But then still you have Windows in the background that just kind of isn't. There isn't a Windows OS optimized just for gaming. They need to focus
Yeah.
on that, right? Well, and they should. They should do that, right? But until they make that so it's not so like there's not a difference between. It's like this for me. Okay, it's like working from home, right? You work from home, you do your work, you're done for the day, you turn, you're still home, right? So think of that concept into a gaming device. You're playing your gaming device, right? It's doing great. It's all this other stuff's nice, and you look over, you want to play or go back to work, and it's just like a tab over. It's not a different experience completely, right? It's the same OS. You're just changing shifts what you're doing on that OS. If I go to my Steam Deck, it's just for gaming, right? I could use it for other stuff too, but it's just that OS optimization is just tailored to what you want to do. There's no like after you do all this stuff, make sure it's optimized and updated, then you can play your games. They don't have that. The quick resume on Steam Deck doesn't happen on the rest of them, right? Because it's Windows. Now you can put SteamOS in the other ones. I get that. But until there's an overall better OS experience on Windows, we're not going to see them succeed in this market. And people are switching because of this. There's so many different issues with Windows right now. Until they fix that, people are shifting away from Windows, right? They're noticing that you don't have to have Windows to do work, right? And other things as well. And there people are saying that now it's micro slop for AI instead of the base OS. I mean, this is supposed to be the OS that was going to be a lot better, right? And more optimized and sleek and nice. and it's weird. It's in a weird state. That's what I'm trying to say. So, while you say they shouldn't be worried, I think they should be. And I'm not saying people don't like playing on Windows. What I'm more saying is they're seeing a change and they're questioning some things, and they're trying out some other stuff. That's what I'm more saying. Like I never thought I would play games on Linux at all, right? You never used to do it ever, and now it's a bursting industry in that sense. And Valve changed that in a lot of different ways. Am I saying I'll completely stop using Windows? Probably not, but it gives them a reason to do better, right? And competition is good. So,
Most
I know it's a
definitely.
long-winded thing about this, but anyway. Okay,
All
okay,
right.
Quasey.
So
This
I
next one
think,
is going to be a good one.
yeah. So the next one, it's not so much. How do I put this? It's more of somebody posed a question and then we do research to back it up, right? So the question was, I'm buying an Android phone. Not me. The person's buying an Android phone, right? Which is going to be better for them? Is it going to be the Samsung Galaxy or the Google Pixel? And it seems that the S25 Ultra is just marginally better than the Google Pixel 10 Pro because it has a more powerful processor and slightly longer battery life. But obviously, because Google makes the operating system, it just makes sense that the operating system runs better on the Pixel. It's a little bit smoother, a little bit more fluid. It's just got a little bit more oomph to it. You know what I mean? So, really, just in summary, uh, even though the Google Pixel offers more RAM, which it has 16 gigabytes as compared to the 12 gigabytes on the Galaxy, the S25's horsepower completely makes up for that. In the camera department, it also offers more lenses, and we were told that the selfies on the Google Pixel Pro look a tiny bit sharper, but it's not due to the high resolution of the camera lens itself, but because of the software integration. Consumer Reports praised the rear camera system and display quality of both phones, but we're supposed to see a longer lifespan with the S25 Ultra because of its bigger span, right? Or because of its bigger size, not bigger span. That bigger battery. So that's if you're looking to buy the either the Google Pixel 10 Pro or you're choosing between that and the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Um, in a lot of cases, the S25 Ultra is going to be better for you, but also if you're looking for the more RAM and more smooth, buttery animations, not just because of like the 120 hertz or whatnot. I almost said 240 hertz. I don't think that phone has that. I might have been looking at too many monitors recently, but um, yeah. So the animations and stuff are going to be just a tiny bit more smooth on Google's phone on the Pixel, but realistically, you can get either one, and you'll be extremely satisfied with your purchase. But if battery life is the most important thing to you, then today, as I stand here and recommend you an Android phone, it's going to have to be the Google, or sorry, I lied, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is the second best phone in the world right now.
Here's what I'll say about this. Now, I am not a Android guy, right? I want to understand the other side of things so I can get an overall concept of what is to be offered in the phone markets, right? So, in my experience, what I see from people are swayed towards the Samsung side than the Pixel side. And one of the things I see about this is you would think because Google makes the hardware and the OS that it's a seamless, integration of both of them, and they didn't do that quite well for a long time. And they are doing better at that now, but there's still issues with it a little bit here and there. And it seems like that Samsung has that down more so than Google does right now. That will change in the future, I think, right, for sure. But overall, I think we see that the consumers are flocking more towards the Samsung phones than they are Google because Well, they're just used to it. They're used to that interface. And even though they use the backend as Google for the OS, it's a modified version of that for Samsung devices. So I think that consumers are trying to make their point clear that Samsung's a better route for them than Google. And Google's trying to combat that with some new upgrades and AI features and everything else. But they have to be careful, right? Don't just keep throwing AI at a phone because it doesn't always work. Apple Intelligence. And they have to make sure that it rolls out so it's a great experience overall, right? People are kind of scared of AI right now. So just make sure they don't just push that too much. But hardware wise, I think Samsung has them beat as a whole. And I think that we're seeing people question which one's better to get, right? I think you'll go from one to the other back and forth so they can try it out, right? I think as of 2026 and 2025, Samsung hasn't beat dead to rights. So just wanted to bring this up because if people were questioning this or just asking overall, what should I get? Well, this is our recommendation. Now, keep this in mind, we are not Android guys. Maybe we should bring someone that is an Android person in to give a more better viewpoint than we do, right? But we're looking at as an overall with consumer reports and just overall specs and what it has to offer for what we're doing, right? So just want to bring that out there. I would probably pick the Galaxy 25 Ultra myself over the Pixel 10 Pro. And Quasi, would you as well?
Yeah, but you might say, Quasi, I'm not convinced by just the bigger battery and, the sharper camera. And let me tell you guys something. The S Pen, as much as I hate to say it, it's a great feature, right? It's like a little Apple Pencil for your phone. And you can take this little stylus out, set your phone up, go walk across the room and start taking photos of yourself just using the pen. And I think that's really cool. Now, granted, I do know that Apple just did that with their AirPods. It's a new feature. But still, it's been a feature on the S Pen for a while, and I've always thought it was pretty cool. So I just have to give it its props for that.
Also, the S Pen comes with the device. Just
Yes,
know
you don't
that. I
have to
mean,
purchase
yeah.
it. No, no extra
I
cost.
wonder how many people still have the S Pen before they change new phones. Like, do they lose it? Does it fall out? Like,
Well,
just a
it doesn't
question.
really fall out. You have to actually push it in for it to come out.
No, no, I know
It,
that, but
it's
like,
great.
is there an accidental like press in to release it and then it just falls out? I'm not trying to bash you here. I'm more saying I know as styluses in general, like people lose them, right?
Right.
Even Apple
Yeah,
Pencil.
styluses are really
Like
easy to lose.
someone over there lost their Apple Pencil, right? So like overall, how many people still have that and haven't lost it? That's what I'm trying to get at. You know. Okay. Next topic. This one I want to bring up, Quasi. Before there was the Apple Watch, the thing that I purchased for a smartwatch, and probably one of the very first ones out there, not the first, but one of the very first, was Pebble. And it was an interesting concept where they took a calculator like interface and screen and made it a smartwatch, right? They kind of used that interface, put their own OS
Okay.
into it. Also, and it's the Pebble. And man, was it awesome. It really got me into smartwatches, and I love that idea and concept. And they kind of went away and they came back. I know we mentioned that before, but now Pebble brings back their latest iteration of the smartwatch, and it's an interesting concept. And Queeks is going to bring up an image really quick about this so you can see it. But it is a Pebble Time Round. And I believe this is 249 for a entry point for this device. And it just brings back a different concept into the smartwatch sector that I really liked in the very first one. Am I going to switch to this? Probably not. But it is a great choice for those looking for a modern smartwatch that doesn't give you too many distractions. The battery is incredible with it because it doesn't use the same kind of bright screen that everybody else uses. But overall, this is what they're coming out with. And I just want to make people aware of this because this was a popular brand back in the day. I mean, lots of people had it, and they're coming back for round two. So I just wanted to let people know about this. It uses the e-paper touchscreen color display, which is different now than they ever had before. And I just want to let people know about this. And if you get this, let me know because I'm curious about this. Um, Quasi, do you have any thoughts about this overall?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. How often is it that you go to a cafe, get a latte, get what looks to be a chocolate filled croissant, take off your glasses and take off your watch and put them right in between?
I will
Is that
say
something
this
you do
for
kind of
sure.
often?
I have done that exactly 0 times this year and ever. So, yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's a
that's a
cool
great
photo.
question.
It's a really nice photo.
It is a great photo, except it's a great
People
question
are
that you
not
brought up
doing that.
too. Yeah. And
But no,
and to put down dang near perfect on that is
yeah,
straight without any issues. I mean, give them props.
it's
And
definitely they
also,
did a great
that
job.
coffee looks quite full. How did you bring it
It
to the table
was.
without spilling any of it? I'm more impressed than I am, at all now.
Maybe
I'm
maybe they
very,
made it at the table.
yeah. And you
You
know
know, I
what?
feel like
That
that would be the easiest
croissant
way to do it.
has no crumbs on the plate.
Mm,
Also, great
it looks
question. How is that
absolutely
possible?
delicious.
You look at a croissant the wrong way or the right way, and there's crumbs.
It's gonna crumble.
Yeah. It's kind of like eating sherbet as a kid, the little push pop thing. You can
Mm.
never not have sticky hands, ever.
I
You
never.
could
You
think
know, I
you could
had my
try.
first push pop in 2025. No joke.
How was it?
It was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Did you have sticky fingers afterwards?
I didn't even finish it.
Okay, but like, it was impossible to eat that without sticky fingers. It was like eating a mango. Eating a mango, you have to take a shower afterwards, right? It's almost like
You
impossible.
can't eat a mango and stay clean. It's not possible.
No,
It's
you can
not possible.
try, and you could have a suit on from CDC, and you still didn't have to take a shower. I mean, it's just
It just gets everywhere.
maybe even two
But mangoes are
showers.
so
I'm
good
not
though.
sure. They are so
Oh, they're so delicious.
underrated. Only issue with the mango is this: you need like 32 toothpicks afterwards to get all the stuff out. It's an issue. Brushing your teeth doesn't help. I mean, it kind of does. It's an illusion that you're getting it all out, but you're really not. And
Are you like eating the seed? I'm just not understanding.
well, it's like a stringy kind of,
Yeah, on the seed.
the
If you
no the
I think
the,
if you
the
cut the mango
whole
the right
thing,
way.
the whole
No, if you
thing.
cut it the right. See, I'm gonna have to teach you how to cut a mango. Like,
I have cut
for me,
mango,
it's only
but like
stringy
from
on the
from
seed.
the outside skin to the whole way through, it's like stringy still.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna do it. I have some mangoes downstairs. You guys will see at the end of the video a tutorial on how to cut a mango today.
Okay, yeah, but that brings us back to the Pebble smartwatch that we're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's
All
a
I gotta
great
say
concept.
is, I'm glad this is coming back. It's a nice concept, and let us know if you're gonna get this. It's a very interesting, good price point. I mean, you're talking about under 300. It's
Which is the
nice.
same as
Excuse
the
me.
Apple Watch SE. You can get that for 200, $300.
Yes. I'm not
Not to
saying I'm
buy that.
switching. I'm saying that this is a nostalgic moment for me where this is my first smartwatch in my life, and now it's coming back, and I'm glad it's coming back to make a more market push. That's all. Okay.
So, Adam, first podcast of 2026. I think we should look back on some of the things that didn't make it out of 2025. In
I have a
2025, there
comment
was a lot of tech.
about something in this list too.
Okay,
It makes me upset.
there was a lot of tech. Right, some of it was really cool. Some of it had the right idea. Some of it was old tech, and they didn't make it. So let's go through the list and say a few words as we pay our respect. Um, AOL's dial-up service that was 34 years old in 2025. It it's no longer we no longer have dial-up. It's really unfortunate.
Did you ever
Rest in
have dial-up
peace.
Quasi in your life?
Not that I remember.
You were
Then
blessed.
I,
I'm a
I
little bit,
think we
just
might
a
have.
little bit older than you.
I was just very young.
I did. and it
How
was
was
like
that?
it's yeah. I mean, if you can imagine McDonald's Wi-Fi but worse, right?
Oh, I don't
Put
use
yourself
McDonald's
in.
Wi-Fi. I'm scared I'm gonna get hacked.
Good
It's
point.
not
I'm just
secure.
saying, if you ever do use it, and people do use it, it's worse than that. And it took like 5 to 10 minutes to load Google.com. Like you saw
Wow.
like the like the pixels coming on the screen, like like in a like snake format,
Yeah.
and when you connected to it, it's not like a fax machine was trying to communicate with its home planet. And it was a interesting thing. You couldn't be on the phone at the same time. I'm just glad we're at gigabit speeds now. So
Most definitely.
it was nice to have that. We need it for that time period, but rest in peace and sayonara.
Rest in peace. The next thing was the humane AI pin. Right. This made a lot of buzz. But
Buzz
I was
lots.
watching Marquez Brownlee's video on it, and I wouldn't say he was tearing into it, but it was kind of a one-trick pony. It only could do one thing. And the unfortunate part was, if you're specializing in one thing and you're not great at it, you're probably not going to make it to the big leagues. And the humane
It
AI pin
just
did not make it. So
Yeah, nice concept. It just didn't fully, once again, they had this AI concept that didn't fully pan out, and eh, just spend more time to test it. And they did not do that so well. Then HP bought it out. HP, what a crap company they are. Sorry, I know I'm gonna get some heat for that, but they just didn't make it any better. So yeah. Okay, sorry, and proceed.
um, another thing that left town, no longer with us, is the iPhone home button. And this
I'm
one
okay
touches
with
a little
that
bit close to home. My first iPhone had a home button,
too.
and Touch ID might have been the fastest thing ever on it. Like some days, I
I
don't
do
know.
miss
I
that.
think I prefer Touch ID to Face ID most days.
You know why? You know why I like it more?
Why?
I could do this. Let me show you something. Ready? Ready for this? I could do this. Push
Yeah,
it
and it
that.
was like I was opening the phone from that. I would like was turning on the phone from that button anyway. It was gonna unlock, and sure, Face ID gets it right sometimes, but then Face ID some
Yeah,
days.
but you know why gets on my goat about Face ID, Quasi? My phone's shaking because of this. They had an ad of a person in a pool that got out and their phone was laying down, right, on
Yeah,
the
it works for
ground.
me. I
And
just don't
then
know why
at
it
an
doesn't
angle
work
that
for
they
you.
were at, it would just work. Never in the history of iPhones has it ever worked, and we proved it last time on this
That has
episode.
definitely worked for me before. I just
Okay, but I'm saying like 6% of the time that works.
maybe
Right.
it might be a
I'm
little bit
just saying,
higher.
like, they just made it sound like that was the way you could do it, and it just doesn't because the iPhone camera angle isn't that the
No,
whole
and not
time,
just
right?
that,
I don't know.
but I'll say
It has
sometimes
like right now, never does it. See, doesn't do it.
you're not
Nope.
giving it enough.
Actually, you ready? Ready for it? No, not just nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
get a little closer. Oh, oh, nope. See, does actually it went
See,
to lock
Adam,
because it
we,
didn't
we
see
actually
anything.
can't verify that it didn't happen.
I have to I had to look at the camera
Yes, you
face
have to look at
on,
it.
but they weren't. That that swimmer, right, which has wet everything, hair, everything, which is another thing. If your hair's wet and stuff, doesn't work at all. But like,
No, it doesn't. That's what I was trying to say. It's
here's
horrible.
phone and here's them, this far away, and guess what? It worked for them. No, it doesn't. That was a terrible interpretation of what Face ID was. Is all I'm trying to say. It doesn't like that's misleading. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Proceed.
But I will say, sometimes I'll be staring at my phone. Maybe I don't look my best that day. But Apple did not need to tell me that, as it declines me 4 times and makes me put in my password. If there's one thing I hate, is putting in my password. That's what I'm realizing.
I
So,
I get angry at that too.
and
Like, okay,
it's not
why
even
if
like
my
I have a
phone
bad password.
restarts do I have to type in my password? My face is
Wait,
still
I can
here right
actually
now, at
understand
least.
that. I can understand that one.
Why? Why is it required?
It's a security thing. That one's
Quasi.
fine because my phone doesn't restart that often. It restarts maybe once a month. I'm not too upset about that.
So if I'm a thief, I just have to wait until you don't restart to get into your phone.
Yeah, but like
So if
also
I have
Face ID.
Quasi's face, right? If I have Quasi hostage, right? And I can unlock it when it's turned off and turned back on, or when it's been on the whole time. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, also you can
It's the same
like
thing.
if I see the thief coming, I can hold the side button for a little bit, and then it'll lock itself, and you need the password instead of Face ID. Then again, if someone puts a gun to my head, I'm probably going to give them the password. You know, I'm just.
That's my point.
Uh,
Like I get that try to make it secure. I understand that. What I'm saying is like it's just not as convenient for me. Or here's the other thing, Quasi, I cannot stand. If I'm in the App Store and I'm getting a game, it's just so random. Oh, you gotta type in your password. Oh, you have to do this. You have to verify your zip code. Just do it. It's a free app. Crying out loud. I'm not buying the $50, Red Dead Redemption or whatever, right? Just let me just do it, right? Come on. Sorry, that was a rant that didn't need to happen, but
it's
as we go
completely,
on,
completely valid. Um, for some other tech that
Micron.
died, Micron is no longer making memory
Really
for
are, just not for
consumers.
us.
Yeah, for consumers, you can no
I
longer
miss that.
purchase
One of my
DDR5 RAM
favorite
from them.
favorite RAM companies out there. There's great ones. I just liked Crucial. They were so reliable and so good, and a lot of them are too. Just when I went to a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Another thing, the blue screen of death is no longer. And I've never. Well, I did dislike the blue screen of death when it happened to me. It happened to me quite a few times. But like,
Me too.
it was a cool little screen. It smiled at you. Hey, you're the. Or I guess it wasn't smiling. I guess it was definitely frowning. But it was like, hey, your device ran into a problem. We're gonna try to
And let
figure
me
out
just say
what it
this.
is.
We're both tech guys. Even tech guys have to look up what the hell that stop code means.
Yo,
This
I
is the
promise
most
you every time.
in, uninformational screen you can get to. It's like, okay,
I
there's a
promise
problem.
you
Oh, we'll give you a very generic, tells you nothing code that can mean 18 different things, if not more.
that you
Come on,
have to
Windows.
go
At least
look
do
up.
better at that.
Mind you, what if I only have that computer? How am I going to look that up? Like what if I don't have a cellular device? Sorry, I'm just. It happened to me before I
I
had a
get it.
phone.
This is completely meant for just IT guys. So like, yeah, and it can mean different things, and we have to look it up too. We're not going to say, "Oh yeah, I know what system service exception means. I know what that means." It's just right here on top of my head. I know what that means.
Yeah,
And we don't
and
always know.
if you're saying that you know every Windows stop code,
They don't.
really,
They don't.
you
If you
expect me
call
to believe
Microsoft
that?
support, it's what you hear. You hear type 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 to type or page flips. They're looking up too. That
I
QR
just don't think
code,
anybody knows them.
useless, useless, useless. Let's just go to Microsoft.com/support. That's
Dude,
all it basically does. Sorry.
it's not like the blue screen of death is not the most helpful screen ever. But
No.
sorry. In other words, rest in peace to that. Also, the Amazon Android App Store.
Who used that?
It wasn't the greatest operating system, right?
Still isn't.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's off the only the Fire Stick or if it's off the entire like every Kindle 2. Hopefully it's off every Kindle 2. That was not the greatest store
Let me
ever.
just say
So
this.
rest in peace.
I
Go
just
ahead.
there's only one device in my head worse than the Fire Stick. That's the Roku. Fire Sticks suck. They're so
I don't know why
don't
you said
do
the
it.
Roku sucks. I just thought the
Roku
Roku's not that
sucks.
bad. The Roku. You
I'm
said
Roku. Do you want to put an app on my app store? No, you can't be on my app store. Okay, now I can't use that app. They are so
see. I
restrictive
just
of what you can put on it. And their devices, they're just so full of themselves. We're Roku. We're our badge with Honor. I can't stand, like, they get on my nerves. It's like Tim
so what do
Sweeney
you
owns them or
use?
something. If I'm going to get a device, first of all, it's going to be Apple TV. But
Okay.
beyond all that, I gotta give them props. The NVIDIA Shield is just the king. Nothing's better than that. Prove me wrong, Internet. Prove me wrong. I will say this though: the on TV box shocked me. It really comes down to for me it is going to be a Apple TV. I like that a lot. The NVIDIA Shield Pro, or just a Google TV of some sort. Not saying the one from Google specifically. It's like the on box, streaming box, surprisingly good. I couldn't believe it how good that was. That's a Pro 4K one. If you had no 4K TV, still get that because it has more RAM, more resources. But like a Fire Stick interface, trash. Oh, it's so bad. Do you want to put an app on? You have to basically put in developer mode, go to a website to get a download, or to put a URL in to get APK to put the APK key on, then unpack the APK to do this. It's. I'm exhausted. I need a nap after you get a Fire Stick right because it's so. I just can't stand them. If you're trying to get a Fire Stick, just don't. You have a better chance of just walking into a brick wall and being more satisfied. Like I just can't stand them. Sorry, I don't like them.
Earlier this year, I don't know if you used Skype back in the day, but I was a
I
big
did.
Skype user before
Mhm.
I had a phone.
Yeah.
All right, we lost Skype. F's in the chat for Skype, but it's in Microsoft Teams now.
Yeah.
It's no longer its own
It's just not
standalone
bad.
thing, but I mean, I miss Skype. Is what I'm trying to say. Skype was great.
I miss it too for the consumer side.
Most
We came
definitely.
like a business app. Not was good. It was bad. The next one's what I want to bring up because
You
there's
want to
a
bring it up?
well mention it and then I'll bring the part two of it. It's not on this list.
All right. So the Google Nest Learning Thermostat, it basically got a lobotomy, right? Uh, it's no longer. It doesn't have app support anymore. Like, sorry, how can I explain this? So the app no longer supports this thermostat. So you're losing like 90% of the features that you purchased it for, which is kind of anti-friendly because now you're forcing me to upgrade. But hey, F's in the
Well,
chat.
here's what I'll say. So one of my HVAC guys that I use mentioned his hatred for Nest thermostats, setting them up. And I, for the longest time, really wanted to get one because I thought they were neat and cool. But it's a Google product now, and they're just destroying it. And they destroy something else that makes me super angry. I have a Nest. It is, I can't remember what it's called now. Is a carbon monoxide detector, smoke detector, and I think it's all it was. The Nest Protect is what they called it. And they made an announcement like last year that they're going to stop making them, right? But they also said in that announcement that they are going to keep the ones they had support for longer, right? And they're going to support for years to come. Liars. Liars. I just got an email like 2 days ago saying now your device is no longer supported. It's going to stop working in like the next couple months, and you have to buy a new device completely.
That's not
Why are they
funny.
just nixing this? This was a device that I like to have so I can get those alerts from when I'm not at my house. So I gotta buy something else that's like it to do the exact same thing, and I bought two of them now. And now they're just useless, and they were like $150 a pop. And now, like, oh, a year or two later, now it's just not. It's an obsolete product. Stop it, Google. That's one of the things that they are terrible at. Make a product, they nix it for no reason whatsoever, like the Google Wave, wonderful concept,
What is
just
the Google
killed it.
Wave?
It was a different way to do email in a way better way. And I was one of the beta testers for that. Think about email in real time in a sense. We should look that up at some point together because it was an awesome idea that they had. And they just, we're done. We're Google.
Mm,
This is why I don't like using Google as a whole because they nix things too much. They are the quickest to take a sword and just stab right in its heart, and I can't stand that about that. I mean, ugh. So proceed before I get too mad here.
okay. Also, Stadia, which was another great
Speaking of
Google
Google
idea.
nixing things,
But Stadia has been out since 2022, right? Stadia was shut down in 2022. I don't know why Google thought they could just enter the gaming market, but it didn't work out for
They
them,
didn't kill
unfortunately.
it,
Huh?
and they just killed it soon after.
Yeah, but I think they started trying in 2018, so it's not like they didn't give it time to develop. But the service shut down in 2022, but they allowed they gave a firmware update that made the controllers Bluetooth, right? So you could keep using them. But at the end of 2025, you can't get that anymore, right? So if you forgot to upgrade it to Bluetooth, you're no longer able to use that controller. It's basically bricked. RIP to Google Stadia and RIP to the Stadia controllers. And then DJI drone imports. We literally talked about this not too long ago. You can no longer use foreign-made drones in the U.S. Or I think you can't buy them, right? You can't. So they can't be imported, which means you're gonna have a harder time buying them in the U.S. Right? I'm pretty sure you can still fly them around the U.S. And if you
For
find one, you
now.
can still buy it. But as of right now, they're no longer imported. So RIP to that. And that's my list of the things that we lost in 2025.
Indeed, GI was arguably probably one of the very best drone manufacturers in the market, and now they're just like, that's it, done. So there's gonna be alternatives, probably for sure, but they had to be made in the United States and not imported. That's I don't know. That's a weird twist I wasn't expecting at all. Okay, well, let's do app of the week, Quasey, really quick.
All right, let's do it. What do you have for
You wanna
us?
go? Well,
I
I
can go
said
first if you
Reddit.
want.
Oh, sorry.
Reddit. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
You already said yours.
Yeah.
Reddit.
I like that there's so many different communities or subreddits to be a part of, and I follow a lot of different things on those. I like the community aspect of it is a lot, and I like to I'm trying to find certain things to get actual human people's responses and just overall reviews for things. So I like Reddit quite a bit. I go on often, and that's my app of the week.
That's pretty good. So my app of the week is going to be Priceline. So have you ever tried to buy a last minute flight, Adam, and then you realize
Yeah, yeah,
eight
it hurts
hundred
the wallet.
dollars
Hurts the wallet.
to go to just whoa, $800 just go to Washington? Nobody even likes. I know this plane isn't full. I know it. Nobody's flying to Washington.
It's full of air.
Well, Priceline kind of solves that issue just a little bit. They have express deals. Wow, I sound sponsored right now. Not sponsored, guys. Priceline has saved my butt a couple times. Got me some express deals. I didn't have to pay $500 to make it to Sacramento. I only paid, I think, like 117, which was absolutely insane. So I have to give them a shout out. Um, Also, I'm currently planning a spring break trip with some of the guys, and um, you can just it's like Expedia. You can just bundle everything together here. So we're gonna get a car, we're gonna get a hotel room, we're gonna get everything. So it's just the most convenient way to do it. So Priceline's my app of the week this week.
And they're good. I can testify with that. Okay, my product of the week is a basis product, and I had to just get this recently because Anchor once again let me down. I cannot stand them anymore as a company. I'm sorry, Anchor. You can't make it right. I had their 3-in-1 little cube charger, and the Apple Watch charger part of it just was so unreliable. I mean, like, I don't know. My watch should be at like 30 or 40% when I wake up. I'm like 32 times exactly in a month and a half. That is boiling blood. Make me mad. I cannot stand that. You're doing one
So
purpose, and that's to charge it, and you're not doing that. You would think with gravity sitting on top of this low charger, it would just stay there. Not at all. It would not move whatsoever, and it would just not charge. I could not stand that I was done with it. But the phone part worked fine, but not this. So I went with this Basis. It's a 15 watt. I know it's not the highest Qi charger. I get that, but I'm using it just to charge at night. I'm going to bed. But it also has a function to cool your phone off as well with a fan in the back of it. So you can turn that on and off if you want the fan on. I love that a lot. Watch is in nightstand mode. I love that a lot because then I can see my watch in nightstand mode. It's perfect. It includes a 45-watt brick with a USB-C core as well. And I've used it and it's just tremendous. I love it. That's my app of the week and it's pretty cheap as well. Sorry, product of the week.
Wonderful, wonderful. My product of the week is right here. I decided I was going to recommend you guys the microphone that we use.
Ooh, there's a lot of like crackling when we move around.
Figure out exactly what this is called. The Fifine USB XLR dynamic microphone for podcast recording, PC, computer gaming, streaming mic with RGB light, mute buttons, headphone jack, desktop stand, vocal mic, and singing, YouTube, AmpliGame AM8, right? Not a mouthful at all. But what's my favorite thing about this thing? In addition to having a USB-C in and a headphone jack, it has XLR, which means I can plug it into any soundboard. It's really compatible. Also, this light works wonders. Watch this. I'm going to be talking, right? I have to sneeze, and then if I had to sneeze, I just like this mute button's so cool.
It's pretty nice. I like it.
You are so like I can turn myself down, turn myself back up, right? And then also there's a monitor thing, so when you put in the headphones, you can monitor how you sound. And then in addition to that, I know you guys saw Adam's lighting, right? I have mine on the screen because black and green is OMT colors. So, and
Yes.
also let me tell you guys something. The cord it comes with is one of the best cords ever in my life. Unfortunately, I broke mine and I cried about it. So, um, it's not an easy cord to break. Don't get it wrong. I just kind of smashed it in between a bed and a wall, so it's not great. But
Ooh.
that's my product of the week.
And just so you know, they're not a sponsor, but I want to bring this up too. They have, if I can get everything, there's a kit for at the time about $100 to plug in your XLR cable that it comes with, which is more than just what I have here, right? And it has a whole soundboard to do some soundboard stuff. Is it the best soundboard? Probably not, but it's good for a portable kit for starters and for those that just
Especially
want
for
to do certain
podcasts.
things. It's really, really nice. Now, am I using it right now? I'm not, but I do like it when you do need to use it, and it's quite nice, and I've used it several times. So just so you guys know about that. Okay, so that kind of sums up this episode. We'll go into the one more thing segment just for a little bit here. Well, I guess first off, Quace, I just kind of want to mention something. Did you have a New Year's resolution this year?
There's
It's
some stuff
because you're
that I
not
wanted
gonna
to do,
do
but
it, or you just didn't think of one.
well, I give myself 10 days into the year to make my entire list. And my list currently has 0 things on it. Not that I couldn't think of anything. It's just, I've been a tiny bit preoccupied with other things. And,
I get
I
that,
only
and
have so many days left to play Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not going to play itself. So, by next week, you guys will know if I have resolutions or not.
okay. I just, I guess mine is just to try to. Man, I have a couple. So, first one is to try to get better sleep. I have issues with sleeping good, and just for various reasons. It could be because I'm going to bed too late. Like last night, I gotta be honest, Quasey. I'm it's like almost 9:30. I'm like, I have to get up early tomorrow for a podcast. I completely forgot that happens tomorrow. It should have been my first thought, but it wasn't. So I went to bed too late, and my daughter didn't want not want to go to sleep immediately, so I was up much later than I should have been. But it's okay. So try to get more sleep, just to my goal is to get this podcast to way new heights this year, where by the end of this year, we're at a lot better stance with community, with views, and just with what we have planned, case that we discussed. So that's my kind of New Year's resolution so far, is just to get better sleep and to take care of my body better, I guess, too.
All right.
So,
Well,
and let us know yours down in the
yeah,
comments,
that's
please.
what I was gonna say. I want to know what you guys' resolutions are because I might steal a couple of them. Right? If I see that
Ooh.
maybe we're cutting out McDonald's this year, you're getting blocked, and I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it. But if I see something achievable, right, something like this year we're running the date. That is the only resolution that I know for a fact is going on my list. I'm running the date. So like you might be like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Like today is currently January 6th. Yesterday I went outside. I ran 1.5 miles, right? I was only supposed to go 1.05 miles, but I was far from home. So really, I ran a mile and then I walked. But I'm not going to tell everybody that. I'm just going to say I ran a mile, right? So I ran 1.5 miles yesterday. Sure, my time wasn't the world's greatest because I did walk some of it. But it's a
So
resolution,
exercise.
and we're gonna try and keep that consistent. Well, I know I'm going to have to keep it consistent because I do ROTC, and on the first day back we have a 3 mile run, so that's fun.
Where do you do that without giving away your
Um,
location?
let's
Is it
let's
like,
let's read the warning order. Let me pull up the email that told me where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. It looks like the school's gym this time
okay,
because
okay.
it,
Well, at
it'd be
least
too
you'll be
cold to do it
inside.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Was there anything crazy that happened? Did you have a really nice New Year's Eve? What'd you do for New Year's Eve? I'll tell you what I
Well,
did.
so
It's
every New
crazy.
Year's Eve, I'm in the church just praying.
Well,
We
that's
pray in the
nice.
New Year. So I was there.
I
Also, there are some really beautiful women. Right? Let me tell you something. This is a little bit off topic, but at the
please
church
proceed.
out here that my dad pastors, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a horrible individual. I came out and I play the piano, right? So when their regular pianist isn't there, I do them a favor. I step in, I play the piano, right? These girls sing, and gosh, they are just so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like I just, Adam. So like obviously the next question is, Quasey, they're so beautiful. Did you talk to them?
Yeah.
No. Oh. Let me tell you something. I went on an 8-hour trip with them to Los Angeles. And I said, on the trip there, I said maybe a total of 3 words. Hi, I'm Quasey. I hate myself. I,
Don't hate
you know,
yourself. Just do
no,
better.
Adam. Oh, it's so bad. Um, on the way back, we did end up playing some games in the car. So, there was some conversation. But, gotta be honest with you. At some point, I couldn't hang it out anymore. My body told me it's getting late. The sun's getting real low. It's time to go to sleep. Now, the unfortunate part is, I'll put it like this. Most women don't see me when I'm asleep. And I know that from experience, I happen to be quite loud when it comes to snoring, right? So if my head is tilted back and my mouth is open, it's all over for everybody. Nobody else is getting sleep that night, and I think I blew it, right? Anyway, I saw those girls on the 31st, right? We were all at church together. They came up to me, said Happy New Year. Mind you, at this point, I was low-key trying to avoid them. It was involuntary, but it was happening. I was involuntarily trying to avoid them because I was scared of talking to them. Like, what am I gonna say, right? But I did not tell him I was leaving this week. Maybe I should have said something. Maybe I could have got a number. It's really unfortunate.
Well, that's something that you can work on, Quasi, right?
Yeah, I'll be back in the summer. They'll be back in the summer. I found out one of them's 20, and I'm 20. You know, um, and gosh, it's just so lucky that she was the most beautiful one. So I just have to. I really hope they don't find this podcast. That could be really awkward, and I'd never show my face here again. But
We have to find who these people are and let them listen to this podcast episode.
no, that'd be absolutely horrible.
Maybe
Um,
that will introduce
no,
yourself in a better way to
no,
converse with them. Maybe.
no,
I don't know. I don't know.
no. It's just not gonna happen.
Um,
Because what am I gonna say?
well, we'll work on that.
I'm not gonna be able to say
Um,
anything. I'm gonna freeze. It's really bad.
my New Year's consisted of playing golf with friends on my Steam Deck with my wife and two other friends that weren't in the same household with me either.
Oh,
Um,
that's nice.
yeah, we are going to have them over, but we didn't prepare at all for them to come over, so we just didn't do that. But we played golf with friends and then watched some YouTube and some other places do their countdowns, which is nice. We had we had some snacks. Oh, not sponsored, but have you tried the naked Doritos, cheese puffs, and all this other stuff from that brand from Pepsi? It's their
From Lay's.
non. No, it's not Lay's. There's Doritos. It's like the Pepsi products, but it's like the Doritos, the hot Cheetos, the
Yeah, isn't there a company
um,
called Frito Lay?
yeah, but Pepsi owns them. But they had made a this brand naked to have no artificial food coloring and stuff in it. So we tried them, and they're all really, really good, except the base nacho cheese Doritos. Tastes like bad. I don't know how else to say it. It's just not good. But the
It's like bad.
oh, it's just really bad. But the Cool Ranch Doritos, oh my gosh, is it? It's so good. Try them. Not sponsored, but trust me, they're very, very good. The hot Cheetos, it's hotter than the other hot Cheetos. My daughter loves them, and I'm like, wow. Like if you're really dragging the day, you're tired, eat one, you'd be like it wakes you up a little bit for sure. Beyond all that, yeah, that's basically what I did. So, and then I was just
Oh,
getting ready for
wonderful.
the podcast. I got a sinus infection, so I still kind of have it a little bit.
That's not wonderful.
No, but it wasn't the worst one I've had. So that's a good part. It's just a little bit of like stuffy nose now, basically. So that's why you've been seeing me like blow my nose a little bit here and there, and I had to leave for that, just runny nose and stuff. But I'm back though. But anyway, it wasn't too exciting, but it was still fun. So um, yeah. Anything else, Quasi?
No, not really. You know,
Okay.
just I might. You guys might not have heard what I said in the one more thing text segment, or in the one more thing segment, because I might have cut that out by the time you guys see this video because I'm so embarrassed of what I just said. It might happen. No, because like, what if they actually find this? How am I going to
Great.
explain to them what I was talking about? And
That's
you know what?
okay.
I actually have to say something. This 6'9" dude came to the church one Sunday, right? This guy plays basketball here at Sacramento State, right? This guy's met LeBron James. And apparently he was invited by one of them. So how am I going to compete? I just play football at Olivet Nazarene. That's not D1. That's nothing. Uh, I just.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
He was tall too. Like, I was looking up at him. I don't look up at a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, he has problems though, like walking in doorways, though, right?
Yeah, but like, those are good problems to have.
I don't know. You can like not remember certain things, like walking to an exit sign, though, can't you? Or
I
like
mean, I don't think he was that tall to where he had to watch
I
out
don't
for
know,
exit signs. Exit signs are
but if
pretty
he
high.
sneezes by one, he might just hit it.
Yeah,
The
he
way I
might.
don't know. But I don't know. That could be a problem. He has
It
more
could be.
problems than most people do have, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're better
Yeah.
problems to have.
Like,
Like, if I had too much money, that's a good problem, you know?
yeah, but like at a urinal, he's just always taller than that little like wall they put up.
Yeah, but like he's not peaking, I don't think. And
I'm
actually,
not
I'll tell
saying
you,
he
if
is.
he goes to Bucky's, he'll never be too
Never had that
tall.
problem. I love Bucky's.
Dude,
I love
that's the
Bucky's.
best part about Bucky's, the bathroom. Dude, you feel like a
Yes.
king walking
You
into
have
those
your
rest
own
stops.
like
It's
suite
a
at a
cubicle.
hotel.
Like,
Yeah.
you- dude,
Yeah.
I have never felt so secure while peeing. Granted,
Oh, I
somebody
oh
could have
I
came
know.
up and stabbed me in the back, but I would have died a happy death.
Yeah, but I just I don't know, I love Bucky's. If you've never been to Bucky's, make your way to find the one. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's one
Okay.
probably 800 miles away from you, and you'll see the sign.
Yeah, I know it's so far, but they're so nice. Oh wow.
Right?
Okay. Well, thanks guys for giving us a great start to 2026. And we want to say again, like and subscribe, please. And let's make this podcast blow up this year. This is the
Not
year for
literally.
the
We
OMT
don't want
podcast
we don't want
to just
fires.
go in views. And you can make it happen. You can help us with that. So thank you again for being a great, great audience. We look forward to even more comments we had last episode, which was a whole ton we had to still go through. Um, we love you guys. Thank you so much and have a fantastic week. And we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.